So I guess I'll start off with introducing myself. I'm Canadian, born near Vancouver, and I lived there until I was 28, and then I moved to Japan. I live in the countryside of Japan. My first 6 years here, I was doing the working in Tokyo, commuting every day. It was an hour and a half ride from my house to the office on a packed train. Like, you can't understand how packed the trains are in Japan. It's like literally, if you're standing in the train, you're like holding on to the rails inside the train, and there's people like sandwiching it. You're like, and for the first 3 months while I was in Japan, I was like, oh cool, I'm in Japan, woo! And then after 3 or 4 months of that, you're like, oh man, this kind of sucks. Because it's really hot here and humid. So you're in this packed train. It's an hour and a half ride to work and an hour and a half ride back, and it gets to you. It doesn't take long before it gets old real quick. So I did that for 5 years, and it was good. I've met a lot of really interesting people in Tokyo, but I decided to slow down. I like slowing down. I like enjoying life. I felt like I was missing out. I was making the money and doing what we're told is the right thing to do. The making money, climbing the ladder, being successful, and it was great, but it was killing me. It's a hard life. So I decided to stop, and now here I am in the countryside of Japan. I've got a house in the mountains overlooking the lake, and I started my own English school. So I've got about 120 students, and I close the school Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so I've got 3 days off a week. And it's a whole different lifestyle for me, because I'm in the middle of nowhere. There's like nobody here. I'm like the only foreigner. It's a lot of, not farmers, but countryside people, country folk. So I imagine in the countryside of Canada or the countryside of America, when you see a foreigner, there's a certain stereotype, especially for people who are still pretty redneck, if you live in the redneck areas. And I'm kind of in a redneck area of Japan. Not that there's any outright hatred by any means. There's no hatred. It's just a real... they have a feeling of, we are Japanese, you are not. And that's very distinct. So it's obvious that I'm treated as a foreigner here. And there's certain advantages to that. It's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining. They love to bring me food. Try this, it's great. And usually it is pretty good food. They love to invite you over to their house so they can have a foreigner in their house. So, they're always wanting to set you up with their beautiful daughter. So it's got its advantages. But after 8 years of doing that, you kind of want to fit in. You want to have your circle of friends where you're just one of them. And not having that. I mean, I visit home about once a year. So I have that, but it's not anywhere near how much I need. And so for those of you who have it, and you have your circle of friends that, you can hang out with, know what you have. It's special. Because not having something, the old saying, you don't know what you had until you don't have it. And I really miss that. Having a group of friends to just sit, have a glass of wine, listen to some music. Even just guys sitting around talking about sex and talking about women and playing video games, or even, you miss it. I have no idea what I want to say. Lately I've been really into exercise. I was up to, in Japan everything here is kilograms, so I've been here so long I forget how many pounds I weigh. Oh, 98 kilograms, so over 200 pounds. I've always been athletic. I love sports, love playing hockey. But since being in Japan and doing the Tokyo life, doing the salaryman work, didn't have a lot of time for exercise, and the food here is so good. Gyoza, you guys know gyoza? They're like dumplings. They're awesome. So I was eating a lot of that and put on some weight. So I had this belly going on. And I'm not young. I'm like 36 now, so the metabolism's starting to slow down, and it takes me a little longer to lose weight. Anyway, long story short, I started exercising again recently, and it just makes me realize how important exercise is. From not doing it, you kind of get kind of sleepy, and I'm not talking just physically sleepy. I'm talking like mentally sleepy. It slows your mind down when you're not exercising, and I notice it now because since I've started exercising again, my mind is like just pumping. I still have my downtime. I still get kind of hard on myself sometimes, which I assume everyone does. You guys get down on yourself? Is there anyone who doesn't? Can you please let me know if I'm the only one here? But yeah, I have my downtime. I get periods or weeks at a time where life kind of sucks. But the exercising really helps with that. I don't know. You hear the things about it makes chemicals in your brain, the happy juice, and I'm feeling it from the exercise. And I've lost, 15 kilograms. What's that in pounds? I'm down to 85 kilograms, so like, 20, 25, 30 pounds maybe? No idea. Not a clue. But it feels good. And where I'm living, since I'm out in the countryside, it's beautiful. I'm in the mountains. So as soon as I walk out my door here,